Hey everyone, welcome back to another epic episode of Surely You Can't Be Serious with your host and my good friends, Jason and Dee. This episode pits two intense and action-packed heist movies against each other, loaded with high-flying egos, surging adrenaline, and characters who would gladly die for their crew. Because whether it's presidents robbing banks or Honda Civics hijacking trucks, one thing is certain, it's all about family. Both films deliver the ultimate LA backdrop, tough and smart women, and a legendary supporting cast that includes a serious dose of the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Rob Cohen. Sorry, Eminem. Just don't tell Dom Toretto that Johnny Utah's crew did it first. So wax up your surfboards and rev those RPMs, because this episode is about to redline your adrenaline. The ultimate question still remains. Which Johnny does it better, Utah or Tran? So let's hand the mics over to the only two guys crazy enough to settle the score. Jason and Dee, take it away, boys.
All right, Dee, time for another podcast.
Sure be nice if we could make a living like this.
It's never about the money for us. It's about us against the system. That system that kills the human spirit. We stand for something that those dead souls inching along in their freeways in their metal coffins, we're here to show them that the human spirit is still alive.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was really good. Now, unfortunately for our TV audience, they could see you reading your script the whole time. But
with
for
my
those listening only to the audio, that was epic. Made me tear up a little bit.
Tried to say it with the charisma of Patrick Swayze.
You did a great job. You did a great job. He would be proud.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here to talk part 2 of Point Break versus The Fast and the Furious from 2001.
Yes, and if you missed part 1, go back to last week's episode and check that out. We talked about the origin stories of both of these movies and their relationship to each other, which is very important. And then we talked about casting for Point Break. We're here in part 2 to talk about casting for The Fast and the Furious, and we're also going to talk about some production and tidbits, and then we will give you our final judgment on which of these two movies is the best.
Okay. Before we do that, though,
Yeah.
I just want to drop this little nugget.
Okay.
Sometimes when we do these, we do it because of the year, or the anniversary, the thing that's coming up.
Yeah.
We didn't really expect this to line up perfectly, but here's the deal. We're recording this. Today is August 7th.
Yes.
Okay. So this episode will drop, part 1 will drop August 15th. Part 2 will drop August 25th.
Okay.
Point Break is coming back to movie theaters August 16th and 19th. A special 2-day thing.
Perfect.
So if today's the 18th, what is today? If you listened last week, hopefully you noticed that Point Break was back in theaters, and then The Fast and the Furious will be in theaters from August 21st through the 27th. You have a chance to go watch both of these awesome movies in the theater. How about that?
I've got to go watch them. Dude, I mean, seeing these things, and I mean, I saw Point Break on the big screen when it came out.
Yes.
I have never seen The Fast and the Furious before, but I would watch it again on the big screen.
Let's go, dude.
Dude, that sounds like a plan.
Grab Caleb. We'll go to Louis. Grab Kevin. Right?
Yeah, that's perfect. Oh, man, I love it.
What are you smiling about?
Dude, I almost had you.
You almost had me? You never had your car. Granny shifting, not double clutching like you should. You're lucky that 100 shot of NOS didn't blow the welds on the intake. Almost had me? Ask any racer, any real racer. It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
Okay, so back to casting for The Fast and the Furious.
Yes.
As I mentioned in our last episode, Paul Walker was already like the producer and the director, and Paul Walker were all like, we've done the Skulls, let's go do something else together. And then this idea of Donnie Brasco and
Days of Thunder
and Point Break all being married into one beautiful movie comes along. And so I doubt that there was ever any consideration for somebody besides Paul Walker, was there?
There were backups. And so here's the backups that I heard for him.
Okay.
And it's kind of the usual cast of characters at this time, right? So you had Christian Bale, you had Mark Wahlberg, and you had Eminem.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Marshall Mathers himself.
Okay.
All of which would have been age appropriate, of course, to do this movie.
Yeah.
But because of Rob Cohen's relationship with Paul Walker from The Skulls, he thought he was perfect.
That fit, yeah.
And you know what? When I watched this movie, of course, I had never seen it. You had never seen it. Even his voice, he sounds, I mean, he's like a blonde Keanu Reeves.
Right.
I like the tuna here.
Yeah.
He sounds very similar. Like if you turned the screen off and just listened to the audio track, they talk alike, they sound alike. They're both sides of the same coin.
So here's what I got on Paul Walker. He actually started doing TV stuff like at the age of 2. He was doing commercials for like diapers and stuff. No
Really?
kidding. Yeah. And kind of had a normal-ish childhood given those circumstances that he was also doing all of these TV things. Went to college and I think had planned to be a marine biologist. Like that's what he studied and worked hard at, and was still a big part of like doing conservation, and was still fascinated by that, but had just kind of gotten lucky in some acting gigs and modeling gigs and made it into the movies.
You mentioned that. I didn't know that beforehand, but I just read that he, before his death, got to achieve one of his dreams, which was like tagging great white sharks in Mexico or whatever for the Discovery Channel, like Shark Week thing.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that he was into marine biology, but
Yeah.
there you go. Now, good looking guy.
Yeah.
And he's our age. He was born in 1973. He's my age. Tragically passed away in 2013. I was just looking at the details of his death. He was at an event. He was with his friend. They were in a 2005 Porsche Carrera GT. Now, they were traveling excess of 80 miles per hour, somewhere between 80 and 95 miles per hour. His friend lost control of the car. It crashed into a concrete lamp, and there's some trees. I saw the video from TMZ. And the thing about that was the car became engulfed in flames.
Oh, no.
So I read the report. They believe that both men were unconscious, but that they were both burned beyond recognition.
That's terrible.
And there have been lawsuits against Porsche and some family settlements and that type of thing. Tragically died at the age of 40 years old.
Man, that's terrible. And so similar to the story that Dom tells about his dad, too. That kind of terrible foreshadowing.
Think about that. Yeah,
that's awful. Well, on a happier note, before all this happened, you haven't talked about it yet, but Vin Diesel was not the original guy that they wanted for this part. You want to talk about that for a second?
Sure, you bet. All right, so Vin Diesel, they wanted Timothy Olyphant.
Yeah.
Which I'm a big fan of.
I know, because you like, what was the TV show he was in that was...
Justified. It was so good, yeah.
Yeah, I remember him way back in the movie Go. You remember the movie Go?
I do remember the movie
He
Go.
was the kind of bad guy drug dealer in that movie.
Wow, okay.
And has since done some kind of fun stuff. I like to watch his interviews. He's a fun guy. And I've seen him talk about this, like that he was supposed to be in the Vin Diesel movie, and then he wasn't.
So he had been in Gone in 60 Seconds, which was another reason why he's like, hey, listen, I write down the car racing thing and I want to do it again. Plus he said, and I quote, "Looks stupid."
So he didn't take the part.
You know what? For as much as I like him as Raylan Givens in Justified, he's not right for this. Vin Diesel is perfect for it.
Yeah, I think there's a machismo, I don't know what to call it, like just a kind of a tough guy thing that Timothy Olyphant, like he's serious tough, but it's not like, I don't know, you don't get warm and caring like the guy who's taking care of his family like Dom is doing in this movie, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, whenever they did end up casting Vin Diesel, he and Paul Walker decided to go watch a real street race together.
Okay.
Have you heard this?
No.
Okay, so they're watching the real drag race, and the police show up in helicopters, and they have to run and hide. And so they're running and hiding together, and it's like this instantaneous friendship of these two actors. And Vin Diesel has a twin brother whose name is Paul, who is blonde. And it was like this friendship was just made to be. Like they just immediately hit it off and were best buds from the word go.
I love that they're best buddies.
Yeah.
But you just said Vin Diesel has a twin brother who's blonde?
Yeah.
And they're twin brothers?
I guess. I mean, they don't have to be identical.
Okay. That's true.
There's this other kind of twins. Let me tell you the story.
I dated a non-identical twin in high school, and so there you go.
All right.
Yes, Vin Diesel, and we talked
non-identical. Otherwise known as fraternal.
we call those non-identicals. It's a biological term.
Oh gosh.
So I want to talk about Vin Diesel for just a second, and the scheme. Okay. The scheme of the bad guys is to take on a semi truck with harpoon guns and revved up Civics to steal DVD players and television sets.
Well, it was combination DVD or
I mean,
players,
sorry.
TV sets.
Excuse me.
Come on. I mean, Panasonic, I think Corona probably paid a hefty chunk of money to be featured in this thing.
Right.
And Panasonic had to be like, we want to be the cargo, the booty, as you called it, that's so sought after,
Right.
that they're willing to rob this is the big money item.
Right.
Don't forget me, my money. And yeah, it's a Panasonic box TV with a DVD player. Is it DVD or is it VHS? I'm not even sure which one it is.
Literally, you could not give those away at a flea market right now.
No, you couldn't, other than a prop piece.
Right.
But they were the high dollar items back in the day.
I do think like later on in the Fast and the Furious, I think they're going after like $100 million or something.
Well, and I mean, and the things, it's not as though they get less absurd about things. I can remember seeing previews for those things where the cars are swinging on a vine across a chasm across the ocean or something. It's all very out of this world, but hey, they're making their money on it. People like that stuff.
I heard somebody tell me that Fast and the Furious 5 is one of the greatest movies he's ever seen.
Well, hey, you sent me a video with Christopher Nolan unapologetically, like he's like, it's not a guilty pleasure. These are great movies.
Yeah.
And I think he said you could start with Tokyo Drift, which I don't know. Is it a prequel story? I wish I knew. I didn't have the time to get there in my research. I'll get Caleb to tell me.
Caleb took Fast and the Furious that he watched for the first time the other day and has run with it.
He's run with it. He's finished 5 by now, I'm sure of it.
That right there tells you why.
Well,
it's
that was his
successful.
other reason for picking this, is because he loves franchises. He likes the things that just keep on going. And I will tell you this, for Point Break, it gets to the he's holding Laura Petty as Rosie and Bodhi drive off in the Jeep. Caleb turns to me and he's like, did they make a sequel of this? And I was like, no, they remade it and it was terrible. But
The remake was awful.
But no sequel. And he was like, okay, I want to make the sequel. And I was like, okay. And he's like, okay, you ready?
Yeah.
The 50-year wave. And I was like, you might want to hold on just a second.
Right. Right.
Because he hadn't seen the end of the movie
Okay,
yet.
yeah.
And he was like,
So
I
here's
said,
the
but
thing.
I was proud of him. I was like, that's actually really good that you caught onto that one little bit in this movie that
Yeah.
you haven't seen, because you're right. Here it comes.
I got my Bells Beach shirt on again.
Bells Beach, because that's one of the most notable Point Breaks.
By the way, that was not shot at Bells Beach,
No,
Australia. It was
yeah,
shot
it's
in Oregon.
Hawaii.
Oregon.
Well, part of it was the waves were not shot in Oregon.
Right.
The waves
Right.
were shot in Hawaii.
The fight where Swayze ends up in handcuffs is in Oregon. I just want to mention something about that as well. Point Break should have easily had at least 2 sequels.
Oh, easy, yeah.
Here's the other thing. Like Keanu Reeves, FBI agent, we already accepted that. We're off and running. Johnny Utah goes on to his next adventure, whatever. We never saw Bodhi die.
We never saw Bodhi die. That's
Now,
true.
Catherine Bigelow has said in interviews he died.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it looks like he died.
Well,
Like,
it's definitely implied.
I would have actually kind of preferred to watch him ride the wave a little bit more before he's immediately fallen off the
He
board.
should
and
have
into
been
the
able.
ocean.
We should have been able to see
Seen a
him
little
ride the
more of
wave.
that. But and here's the other interesting thing to bring that back. Caleb was also like, wow, so the actor who played Bodhi died, and then the actor who played the copy of Johnny Utah, Brian, he died. So you got the 2 different characters, one from each movie that dies. But on the sequel thing, I don't know if there was ever talk of it. And I can see for a movie that's this good that they go, we don't want to make a trashy hoe, as they call it, that Steven Spielberg calls these things.
Right.
But that also happened with The Fast and the Furious. Vin Diesel did not want to make a second one because he thought it would ruin the kind of iconic nature of the first one.
When did he come back? Like
when they
4?
offered him more money. I don't know.
Well, that's true.
I don't know.
All right. Are we ready to talk about Michelle Rodriguez?
Okay.
As Letty?
Baby, hey, baby. You should be watching from the side. I wouldn't want to get any exhaust on that pretty face.
How about you put your money where your mouth is?
Well, how about I race you for that sweet little ass?
You want ass, why don't you hit Hollywood Boulevard? You want an adrenaline rush? It'll be too large. Right here, right now. What's it gonna be?
She's a fox.
She's a fox.
She's a fox.
Did she and Vin Diesel date while doing this movie?
I have no idea.
Yes, they did.
Okay.
They did. Absolutely, they did, because they're both beautiful people and They ended up in each other's arms.
Is she the one that married Ryan Gosling?
I don't know.
Or is that Eva, the other one?
I think that's Eva Mendes.
Eva Mendes was the one around.
And she's in Too Fast and Too Furious, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Michelle Rodriguez, she was in Avatar.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she was the helicopter pilot.
She's the helicopter pilot.
Yeah.
Foxy.
Yes, indeed.
And I told you my theory. Her character's name is Letty.
Yes.
And I think
Laura
maybe...
Petty.
Laura
Letty.
Petty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. As I understand it, I haven't seen the movies.
Yeah.
She continues to go on and to do like incredible action sequences in the other Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah, that's what I'm gathering too. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so still on casting. Are you about to tell me about Buffalo Bill or not?
We can talk about Buffalo Bill if you want.
Let's go for it. So
You don't know what pain is. His voice is so distinct.
Yeah, and he doesn't look at all like Buffalo Bill anymore. And I mean,
Ted Levine is his name.
Ted, is it Levine?
Levine?
Levine, I think.
Ted Levine is his name.
Whatever it is. He was Buffalo Bill in 1991 whenever Point Break was coming out.
That's right.
And then 10 years later, he's playing the Pappas character. And I wish I'd had more from him, really. I wanted him to be more involved. I was expecting a closer connection to Point Break. And he's good, but I wish he was a bigger part of this. But it's more about The Fast and the Furious is more about the relationship between Dom and Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For as reckless as Johnny Utah is in Point Break, and as terrible a copy as he is in Point Break,
Brian's much worse.
Brian is off the chain, doing his own thing, street racing, giving pink slips away.
Yeah, and then revealing his undercover status for what appears to be no reason at all.
I'm a cop.
Yeah, I'm a cop, and I'm telling you this because I have to stop your brother from doing the robbery he's about to do because it's going to be very dangerous. I have a bad feeling.
He's going to
come
rob
on.
some more DVD players.
Yeah, yeah. It's terrible.
Yeah. Okay. Jordana Brewster. She plays the girlfriend, the sister, Mia.
Dom's sister, yes.
What do you think about her?
Beautiful. No butt, but beautiful. First scene she's in, she's talking, and then she turns to go away, and I'm like, oh, she got no butt. Super cute, though.
Man, yeah. She was brought in to look great.
She did.
And she did.
Yeah.
She and Michelle Rodriguez, neither one of them had their driver's license when they started this movie.
That's funny.
She had her permit. Like, it was like lingering for years.
Okay.
And so they took them to Las Vegas and gave them special driver school or whatever. For her character, they wanted either Eliza Dushku.
I don't know who that is.
You know the daughter in True Lies?
No, I can't remember her.
She's your standard hottie. She's been in a lot of stuff. You'd recognize her.
She's your standard hottie.
Yeah. I mean, major hottie.
Okay.
Eliza Dushku. And then you had Sarah Michelle Gellar,
Okay.
Jessica Biel, Kirsten Dunst, and Natalie Portman were also mentioned. Ooh. So you see what we're working with here.
That would have been like, they'd have been getting A-list actors in this B movie for that.
Right. And Natalie Portman off of Star Wars, you're not grabbing her.
No.
Rick Yoon plays Johnny Tran.
Okay. I have no, I mean, yes.
I mean, all of these guys are pretty
big, good-looking
people,
Yeah.
hadn't been in anything.
Right.
I'll tell you this.
Lots of pretty people in this movie.
Yes.
Lots of scantily clad pretty people in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Including the girl who goes up to Ja Rule, who has a cameo in the race scene, the quarter race scene at the beginning.
Okay.
And she puts her hand on her breast and says, win or lose, you get this afterwards. And her, or whatever, her girlfriend.
right,
and so
right.
he's like, heck yeah. Well, he loses. And then she's like, nope, screw you, change my mind.
You lost.
That's right.
You didn't win.
Yeah. But Rick Yoon, who played Johnny Tran, when I was watching it, I was like, that's Storm Shadow.
Oh.
That's Storm Shadow from G.I. Joe. That's Storm Shadow. No, it's not Storm Shadow.
Oh, okay.
He did play the bad guy in a James Bond movie called Die Another Day,
Okay.
which is probably the worst James Bond movie I've ever seen, which is why I confused him with Storm Shadow.
Okay.
Okay, and then you have this guy named Matt Schultz. He plays Vince.
Vince is the guy he gets in the fight with at the beginning.
Right off the bat, he's like, get out of here, punk.
Just being
He's
a
like,
jerk
I like
to
the
him,
tuna.
Recognizes him as a cop right from the get-go.
Right from the jump, he's like, this guy's a cop.
Yeah.
And nobody listens to him, and he's exactly right.
He is right. And then fortunately, for him, that nobody listened to him because the cop ends up saving his life at the end.
Yeah, but he still hates him. Right? And he's almost gets his arm torn off, and he saves his life, helps him, still freaking punk cop. So I give it up to him because he had him snuffed out from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. There's one other character I want to talk about, and his name is Jesse. He's played by Chad Lindbergh.
That is a fantastic character. Like, that is maybe the most important character in the movie, because he's the death that moves you, right? Like, Jesse screws stuff up. He's this brilliant kid who can't do anything because of his attention deficit disorder stuff.
Right.
And he absolutely just is lovable throughout, then loses his dad's car and runs away. And then as he finally decides to come back and try to make things right, he gets killed by the
Johnny Tran
gang.
Yeah.
And Caleb was like, no, not Jesse.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta feel it when somebody dies, and they did it right on that one, I gotta say.
When young people are like, let's race for pink slips, right off the bat, I'm like, wait a minute, just why don't you put $100 on the line or something, man? I mean, come on. What are you being so stupid for? Your dad's car? What are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
Do you remember the last time we talked about a movie that was racing for pink slips?
Racing for pinks.
Pinks
has got to be
ownership
Grease.
papers. It's Grease.
Yeah.
We talked about it in Grease. But yeah, his fatal error is racing Johnny Tran, and then he tries to run, and then he gets killed, and that's kind of what propels us into the final act.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. That's the cast of The Fast and the Furious.
Okay. So real quick, I want to talk about the production and the trivia on The Fast and the Furious, and then jump back into Point Break and the production and the trivia on that. Okay. The tidbits, if you will.
Yes.
And here's the thing. I got to apologize to our huge The Fast and the Furious fans, or all of our gearheads out there. We're not gearheads.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry. I'm not super into cars. I don't know all the stuff. I can tell you that it's a Charger that he's using at the end, because I recognize that. And I think it's cool to watch cars race. I had fun doing that.
Sure.
But like, I looked at some of the tidbits on this, and like, they're going into the intricacies of the different variations of Honda Civics and Mazdas and other things. And I'm like, like, none of that stuff sticks in my brain, which is why I'm not a car guy. So I apologize to our listeners who want to hear that stuff. We're not here for you on that.
Can't help you.
Yeah. I can tell you that Charger was epic, and it kind of hurt my soul to see them crash it at the end of the movie. Sorry, spoiler. Movie's 25 years old now. You should have seen it. But
if you missed it, it's in theaters next week.
I owned a Nissan Sentra, and my daughter owns a Honda Civic right now.
My daughter owns a Honda Civic.
Fantastic cars.
Yeah.
Never added features to them or tried to nos them up.
Should we try to like hijack a semi going 80 miles an hour?
It's crazy.
Steal DVD players.
And then when I saw that very first scene, I was like, so this is where it comes in Cars, because it made me think of Cars.
Oh yeah,
because they put the guy to sleep. Remember they put the semi truck to sleep, and that's how you lose Lightning McQueen at the end. But it's the same thing. It's all those souped up with the underlights and all of the stuff. Yeah, yeah.
First of all, when we watched this, my wife and I went away on a little anniversary trip, and I was like, I kind of need to watch Fast and the Furious, and she's like, I like that movie. We'll watch it. And as we're watching it, she's like, I can't wait to hear you try to talk about cars. She's like, you don't care one lick about cars. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Well, but here's the thing, right? And we'll continue with this, but I don't know anything about surfing either.
That's true.
But that's not the only trick in Point Break.
Right.
In the Fast and the Furious, that's all they do. It's just different racing scenes in different places for different reasons, and then rebuilding the cars and the cars exploding and stuff. That's it. That's the whole, throughout the movie, that's all that's happening. There are no other things, unlike Point Break, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But anyway, what else have you got me on tidbits for Fast and the Furious?
Okay, so Fast and the Furious, I've got a tidbit for you that during the drag race, the quarter-mile race scene at the very beginning, which is an awesome scene. You got the cars lined around, and the pizza boy is trying to cut through, and they're like, beat it, pizza boy. That was the director of the movie, by the way, Rob Cohen.
Nice.
Yeah. So you have this incredibly staged scene.
Yeah.
They race going in excess of 150 miles per hour.
Yep.
That scene takes 2 minutes.
It's supposed to be 10 seconds.
Right. A little bit odd right there. The physics of that scene.
Right.
There's another scene in Point Break that has physics related problems as well.
Yes. Mythbusters
Mythbusters got after
revealed
it.
that, yes.
You mentioned the quote where they're having Coronas. He's like, you can have any kind of beer you like as long as it's Corona.
Yeah.
Point Break, they're drinking Coronas. Clearly, I think that was a nod to Point Break.
Right.
But that quote, do you know where that quote comes from?
No.
It's a Henry Ford quote in relation to some of the first cars ever sold. Uh-huh. And he said, you can have any color you like as long as it's black.
Love it.
Okay.
That's good. Nice touch. I like that.
Yeah, thank you. By the way,
You didn't write it. I met them. Good job for them for using a Henry Ford quote in a car movie.
okay. Thought you were complimenting me.
I compliment you all the time. This is not one of those times.
Okay. Here's the one thing I did. I watched a video on this.
Uh-huh.
The photography guys, like the principal of photography, the DP, whatever, when they were trying to come up with the style of the Fast and the Furious, when you watch it, it's got a real kind of a yellow, kind of a hazy filter to it.
Yeah.
And that's because they wanted the background to be kind of drab.
Oh, okay.
It's all set kind of at golden hour, except the night scenes, but it was a way to make the cars colorful pop.
Yeah.
And so they wanted the cars to be what's featured. By the way,
Yeah.
beginning of the movie,
Yeah.
where for whatever reason, Brian is driving his Mitsubishi 1,000 miles per hour and spinning out for no apparent reason.
Yeah, I never did explain that, did it? Just to practice, I guess?
Just like, hey, he's a car guy.
Huh.
That was shot in Dodger Stadium parking lot.
Okay.
Which I'm watching it, I'm like, he's got an Arizona license plate. Is this supposed to be taking place in Arizona? I'm like, no, that's Dodger Stadium.
Letting you know he's in L.A.,
He's
but
in
he's
LA.
from Arizona,
Yes.
not Utah or Ohio.
Not Johnny Utah, that's for sure.
Right.
All right. During the party scene, there is a guy playing a guitar with a Gibson Les Paul custom bullseye guitar.
Okay.
That is the guitar that Zakk Wylde plays. Go back to our Ozzy Osbourne No More Tears episode.
Excellent.
I sent you a text today and I said, we've already talked. We both agreed that the Fast and the Furious, much better than we expected it to be.
Yes.
I told you even last week that I would be very excited for movies like this to come back to the theater. It would bring me back to the movie theater to see fun, popcorn, action, physical stunts, like actual practical effects.
Yeah.
But I told you, I said, I was watching this movie and Dom and his La Familia are sitting around having a meal.
Yeah.
And the first guy to reach for food, he's like, you reach for the food first. That means you say grace.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think I'm going to enact that in my own family.
I like that. That's a good rule to have.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. One more tidbit for you. The guy, kind of the older guy, the jerk butthole who's driving the black Ferrari, when they pull up next to him, he's like, what do you got there? He's like, more than you got, Ferrari.
Yeah.
And then they race. He's like, smoke him, right?
Yeah.
When he races, the guy who's driving the black Ferrari is Neil Moritz, the producer.
Yeah.
The guy who got this whole thing in motion. And then the last tidbit I've got for you, the very end of the movie, when Brian and Dom are racing, and he says, just past those railroad tracks, that's a quarter mile. Basically, let's race. Let's do it. Mm-hmm. And so they race, and there's a train, and they beat the train, and it's tense. It's really cool. And then he hits a
semi pulls out and hits
truck and
yeah.
flips the car 1,000 ways. But it's all awesome. Like I'm watching it going, man, they don't crash cars like this anymore. Why don't they crash cars like this? But really, I thought it was so cool.
Yeah.
But if you go back and watch that scene, Brian beats him by like a couple of inches.
Doesn't matter if it's an inch or a mile.
That's right. You got me? You got me? But yeah, he got him.
So here's the one tidbit that I've got. Whenever Hector is taking the money for that first race and Brian offers the title to his car, right?
Yes.
Dom is holding it, and Hector makes a motion like he's going to take it from him with the money, right? Like he's the guy that's supposed to hold it,
right?
Because he's not fast enough. Anybody won't catch him if he runs, right? Anyway, he looks at him like and Dom keeps the paper.
Really?
Yes.
So he's got the pink slip?
Yeah, Dom has Brian's pink slip, and then later he's like, it was never yours. It's not your car. It was never yours. It's kind of that, soon as you entered the race, I had it. I knew I wasn't going to have to give it to you, so I just held it. It's just this little kind of thing that sneaks by. That's my tidbit for this movie.
Nice. Let's talk about the ending of the movies for just a second.
Okay.
Letting Bodhi swim out into the ocean to do the 50-foot swells, letting him go, he's not coming back, that type of thing, is very spiritually similar to giving him his car as a repayment. The end of Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
Here's my car, take it and go.
Yeah.
Turn into a ghost.
And you know that Brian is leaving the police force.
And he does the epic walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we're transitioning now into, are we transitioning to Point Break?
Yes.
Okay. So to talk about that the last scene as he's walking away after Bodhi's crashed, you know, and you're presumed dead, right?
Yeah.
He takes his badge and he skips it like a stone into the water, and you see it go in, which made me think of Dirty Harry at the end of the first Dirty Harry movie. Throws his badge into the water, which I didn't realize Dirty Harry got it from High Noon. High Noon is where that first. So you got High Noon in the 50s, I think. Then this
Dirty Harry,
Dirty in the 70s, and then in the 90s you get Keanu Reeves throwing his badge away at the end of the flick.
And then it's implied
Top
in
notch.
Fast and Furious.
Yes. Well, yeah. I think when we come back for part 2, I'm just guessing, but I saw the beginning of it, and it doesn't look like he's a cop anymore. I don't think that he's gone back to the force. Although, no, actually, I watched more of it. Like they call him back in. Basically, is what's happening. Like he's like, I'm not coming back for this. They're trying to call him back in. That's what's happening.
We need an FBI agent.
FBI agent. Okay, so back to Point Break.
Yeah.
So I know you're going to give tidbits and just throw them in here whenever you want to, but I just got to gush a little bit. So Catherine Bigelow, she jumped out of the plane with him, man. Like that's
Did she
freaking
physically do
awesome.
that? Yeah.
She jumped out of the plane with those guys, and they had to she was like basically every scene you saw was a separate jump. Like I don't know how many times she jumped versus cameraman or whatever.
Right.
But like it happened too fast for it to be any more than just a couple of shots. And so all the surf scenes, she's sitting on a surfboard. Like, I mean, and she said, well, you know, we had 5 different, she would call it like stage 1, stage 2, 5 different cameras set up in different places to get different shots for the different kinds of water, you know, whether we need big waves or small waves or whatever. But she was out there in the water with the guys filming these scenes. And as I'm thinking about that, I'm like, this movie has not just surfing. It's got beach football. It's got skydiving. It has got a incredible foot chase.
Yeah.
It has got the bank robberies that, I mean, say what you will about this being like one movie being a copy of the other. Surfing has nothing to do with the robberies. The car racing still is involved with the robberies in the Fast and the Furious. But the bank robberies, having them dress in ex-president's masks. when I'm teaching my evidence course, I'm like, you can't use prior offenses unless it shows like the modus operandi. And I always say, so, you know, if you've been convicted 3 times of dressing like in a tuxedo with a president's mask and robbing a bank, and then you're charged and the person robbed the bank in the tuxedo with a president's mask, they're going to be able to use those old things against you because it shows your MO, right?
It's like the wet bandits in Home Alone.
Yes, except better. Way, way, way better. And anyway, and then you've got this moment where he torches the car.
So cool, man.
I mean, you've got Ronald Reagan in a tuxedo with a flamethrower torching a car. That is freaking incredible.
Yes.
And none of this stuff have I ever seen in a movie before 1991. I can't think of anything that would come close.
Right.
It's incredible.
Okay, so you mentioned that Catherine Bigelow jumps out of the airplane. Somebody's got to film these guys.
Yeah.
Patrick Swayze was doing it so much, the insurance company came in and said, no more. You can't do it anymore.
The studio said, you have to quit.
Right.
He jumped 55 times.
And they get that one classic one where he's like, adios, amigo.
Well, the thing is, when the studio told him to quit jumping out of the planes, he was like, no, I'm just going to keep doing it. And finally, they convinced him. They said, listen, if you'll stop, we'll let you do it once the movie's done filming. And that's when you get his epic ballerina. I mean, he is, I don't know how to say the word. He is graceful and a beautiful mover. I don't know how else to say that.
I get what you're saying.
I mean, he's just, but I think the scene, that last scene where you see him jump out backwards and he's like, jumping out of the back of the plane.
You want me so bad you can taste it.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, and then on that final phrase of Vaya con Dios.
Yeah.
I didn't know this. End of Red Dawn. That's what the Russian colonel says to Patrick Swayze before he goes to meet what appears to be his likely death.
Yeah.
It's what Patrick Swayze says, what Bodhi says, just before he goes to meet what is his likely death.
Wow.
5 years later.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Tidbits on Point Break.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going.
I heard Lori Petty call it a wet Western.
That's
And
fair.
I thought, that's pretty
fair.
good.
Yeah,
you know?
that is real good.
Okay. Let me tell you what a dream job would be.
Okay.
D, we really like what you do. So for 2 months, we're going to fly you out to Kauai and let you practice surfing for your gig, right?
Yeah.
So they flew Patrick Swayze, Lori Petty, and Keanu Reeves out to Kauai for 2 months just to surf.
Yeah.
Paid to do it. Got to learn this new skill.
Yeah.
And guess what? They still weren't good enough to convince anybody on film. It's hard. I mean,
Yeah.
surfing's hard.
Yeah, it is. It's really hard.
So I do know that I think Patrick Swayze had done it a couple of times prior to.
He'd seen a board.
Keanu Reeves had not, but from this movie moving forward, surfing became a hobby for him.
Yeah. Keanu Reeves said he jumped out of the airplane only one time. And as I was watching it, with Caleb, I was like, I'm trying to tell which of these scenes are actually like out of, like they're really skydiving.
Right.
I mean, because there's some like when you're back and you can see the ground and all this, but there are some where like the wind is
talking,
going
yeah.
and you can see their faces but it's like you don't see the back half of them. And I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure like they were suspended and somebody's got a big fan blowing,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And so you were talking about the wind blowing. That's one of the things that they talked about in Mythbusters. The first thing that they talked about in Mythbusters was how long the fall was, because they're supposed to be jumping from 4,000 feet.
Right.
And basically they said to fall as long as they did and not
Hit the ground.
Yeah. You had to be at like 18,000 feet or 12 or 18. I don't remember what it was. But the other thing, there were two other things. One of them was if one diver is nose diving and the other one is catching wind, can one of them catch the other?
Yeah.
That one is true. That one actually could happen.
That's crazy to me.
But once he caught him, they couldn't have had a conversation because the wind is basically like you're in a stadium full of, like the decibels are too high for any conversation to occur.
I called my good friend Doug Huggin, friend of the show.
Yeah.
He's a pilot and he's been skydiving.
Okay.
For me, the hard part was, okay, Bodie jumps out. Utah looks at the gun, looks at Bodie, thinks things over. That's going 100 miles an hour or whatever. You would be too far past him who's going straight down to catch him. And Doug's assessment was basically, watch Mythbusters. It can happen.
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned this tidbit actually in our previous episode. During the foot chase, which is amazing, where Utah, let me back up a second. So Pappas and Utah are waiting outside the bank. Pappas is reading Calvin and Hobbes and cracking up and decides he's hungry. Pappas, it's 10:30 in the morning. Round that corner, best sandwich shop in the whole
Both
world.
sandwiches, yeah.
Give me two. Utah, give me two.
Two, right, yeah.
Utah, give me two.
And so Utah goes and gets two sandwiches. And of course, the bank robbers hit the bank while
he's ordering the sandwiches.
right?
Right behind him.
Right. Well, and then there they are, and Utah comes up, stop, FBI. And there's this exchange from Ronald Reagan and Keanu Reeves where Ronald Reagan is Bodie, and there's this recognition, right?
Yeah.
He knows.
It's the other guy's gun, keep him from shooting.
He does, right?
Yeah.
He saves his life.
Right.
But it's, he knows that he knows that he knows that he knows, right?
Right.
And so you have this massive foot chase, and he flames the car, and Utah's chasing him. Well, Ronald Reagan, Bodie, leaves that mask on the entire foot chase. That's because Patrick Swayze was in Europe promoting Ghost at the time the foot chase was filmed, and his stunt double did all the running. Now, Keanu Reeves did all the running.
Yeah, I mean,
chasing.
you see Keanu Reeves the whole time. So they had to develop a special camera for that scene,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because you're watching, the camera's going with them. Like it's not like you're seeing this from above.
Yeah.
there are no drones. Like this is all. And so they had a camera that basically they rigged up two different styles of Steadicam and a spring, and it was like 35 pounds.
They call it Pogo Cam?
Yeah, Pogo Cam. That's
Yeah.
right. And they put a little ring of wire around the top of it so that the cameraman could look through because he can't run and look through the hole like that, right? Yeah. So you gotta have this ring. So he followed him around with that the whole time. And then, of course, I've mentioned several epic parts, but one of the most memorable is Johnny Utah comes running out of the house onto the front porch, and Bodie throws a pit bull on him, right?
Right.
Now, I've always been impressed by the scene. It didn't occur to me until I rewatched the movie this time. Before all of that happens, after they've had the fight with Anthony Kiedis' gang, whatever those guys were called,
right?
You know, where they're like, no, that would be a waste of time.
That would be a waste of time.
Yeah. After that fight, Bodie is talking about Johnny Utah's fighting skills, and he said he was a pit bull out there.
All right.
He's a real pit bull. Yeah.
People forget pit bulls there for a moment were like public enemy number one. It made
Still,
the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Dang.
Yeah.
That pit bull that they had was a trained dog and was very friendly, though, and was not harmed. Because you get that little kick and the yelp, and Caleb's like, oh, man.
Yeah.
What'd the dog do? It's not his fault.
Such a great scene. Such a great scene. All right. A couple more tidbits for you. We already talked about how Johnny Utah comes from basically a derivative of Joe Montana, or Johnny Unitas,
yep.
Right? Okay. There is a line. We already talked about it, how he was following, Utah was following Bodie around, and he said he stopped off at Patrick's Roadhouse restaurant.
Right.
Clearly a nod to Patrick Swayze Roadhouse.
Yes.
I mentioned that in the Fast and the Furious, they eat at the restaurant that Lori Petty worked at in
The
Point
Neptune
Break.
place, yes.
Yep.
Wasn't the Gato Negro. Caleb pointed that one out. They're at the place called the Negro. I was like, yes, it's Gato Negro. It means black cat.
Black cat. Thanks, Caleb. When Bodie meets Keanu Reeves, Johnny Utah, he says that Utah's surfboard looks like a 57 Chevy I used to have. Guess what he drives in Dirty Dancing?
57 Chevy.
Yeah, that's right. That's all I got for tidbits.
Okay, here we go. It's time for final judgment. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
Go ahead.
Okay. Let me just say that I don't think I've hidden anything. Point Break is clearly the superior movie here. Like it belongs on the Mount Rushmore of 90s action movies because it set the stage for all the action movies that will come for the next 10 years. It changed the way action movies were made. I didn't realize it until rewatching it and considering all of the things, and it's fantastic. I mean, all of these components, the skydiving, the president's robberies, the surfing, the relationship between the bad guy and the good guy, and the buddy cop thing that's going on with Pappas, it's all just so brilliantly woven together, beautifully filmed. Like it is, I can't say how much I appreciate this movie, and it wasn't something that I truly appreciated before. It is the clear winner. I never wanted to watch The Fast and the Furious, ever, until somebody said it's a beat-by-beat remake of Point Break. And I was like, oh, well, okay, I might want to check this out for informational purposes, right? And then Jeff Johnson proposes it as we do the verses. And let me say that the needle didn't just move for me on this one. It tipped. Like I got a seismic wave. The Fast and the Furious is really a good movie. It's a B movie, but it's a really good B movie. And I can see how this wonderful little seed created the franchise that was to come because it tapped into everything that, like, if I was a 14-year-old kid who was into cars in 2001 instead of a guy who was having his first year of law school, I would totally have been into all of this stuff. I would have been into these cars. I would have been into all of the hot girls and all of even the robbing the trucks. It's a perfect movie for a different age bracket than I was in 2001. And it's worth the watch. And I'm willing to go watch the other movies. I kind of want to see what happens. I mean, Christopher Nolan loves the movies. They can't be that bad. So I'm picking Point Break as the clear winner between the two. But man, The Fast and the Furious is a great movie and worth the watch. And I'm really excited to go see it on the big screen.
Okay. That's fantastic. I'm so glad that you feel that way. Number one, because I had to lightly twist your arm to push through on this one.
Yeah.
I basically have the exact identical opinion as you. I had no interest in the Fast and Furious. It looked like stupid crap to me that I was not interested in. I'm not a car guy.
Yeah.
Certainly hydraulics and loud rap music and all that stuff. That's not my thing, right? However, after watching the Fast and the Furious, I was like, that was a fun ride.
Absolutely.
And there was character development. It's not just how fast your car is and all that BS. You had beautiful people, number one. You had super cool cars. You had great action sequences. And you had a charismatic cast that I enjoyed. I'm with you. I think we should go to the theater and watch this and eat our popcorn and have a great time.
Yeah.
And I would be willing to continue on and watch the rest of the franchise. I think it's fantastic. Yeah. Now then, how it compares to Point Break. Clearly, it's a inspired by situation where Point Break was a touchstone action movie in the early 90s that many movies, not just the Fast and Furious, but many movies took from. Point Break is by far the better movie. I like that you said that it's a Mount Rushmore action movie in the 90s, and now that I think about it, I think I'm with you. Within 2 weeks or 10 days or whatever it is, you had Terminator 2 and Point Break, two of the best action movies of the 90s, released basically in back-to-back weekends. So my vote is for Point Break, and I think it's incredible. But Fast and Furious is very good and very enjoyable, and I had a great time watching it.
Yeah.
So we want to hear what you guys think.
Yeah.
How do we come down? Point Break, Fast and Furious, where are you guys?
Do you side with Jason and I, or do you side with Caleb? Caleb saw them both for the first time on the same day. He picked the Fast and the Furious. I think it largely has to do about
your age
and what you're doing. What stage of life you're in when you're seeing these movies as to how you see them. But tell us what you think. And thank you so much for joining us. Be sure and check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/ShirleyPodcast. And if you've made it this far and you haven't hit the subscribe or follow button yet, why don't you do it now? We do this every single week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening. We love you, and we will see you next week.
Bye, guys.